This video is going to be another stock chart analysis video and ito yung 10 stocks na pag-uusapan ko sa video na to. But before we cover these individual stocks, punta muna tayo sa PSEI para sa overall market conditions. So the last time that I reviewed the PSEI, last trading week pa, nung naging basis ko, yung November 21 candles. So that explains the vertical line. So from the last review nga, there were two possible scenarios na I think would happen. It's either mag-continue yung bullishness ng index and it really moves outside the downward channel move, So if you're new to this channel, matagal ko na kasing napapag-usapan na the PSEI is moving towards a downward channel and it was crucial na malagpasan niya yung downward channel to prevent the move towards a lower price point, So, mabuti naman at nag-rally yung PSEI for the past few trading days and today nga, the first trading day of the week, nakalagpas na talaga siya dito sa upper resistance line nitong downward channel. So, what I want to happen for the PSEI is magkaroon siya ng consolidation dito before siya mag-break out above the MA100 and above the future consolidation na ginagawa niya. So, the reason why I would like to have a consolidation muna, baka kasi pag dumire-diretso yung pagtaas ng PSEI, it might find difficulty going past the MA100, Lalo na meron tayong resistance dito around 6141 to 6150 na level. So, probably it would be best na magkaroon muna siya ng consolidation before mag-try mag-breakout para mas achievable na maabot niya yung 62 price point. So, another scenario would be somehow a neutral one na babalik siya dito sa ilalim, because of some profit takers since grabe na yung tinaas niya since the second week of November. Tapos, dito siya magkaroon ng consolidation and then mag-breakout eventually. But of course, there's still the possibility na bearish scenario na kung saan mahulog talaga siya diretso, below the MA20. So, yun ang iniiwasan natin because that would mean very bearish na naman yung outlook sa index natin. So, let's see this trading week kung kaya ba niyang masustain itong move niya at hindi na siya bumalik sa loob ng downward channel. So, for the first stock na pag-uusapan, that's JFC. So, for JFC, the last time na napag-usapan ko yung stock na to, more than a week ago, nung November 14 pa. And these were the levels na na-plot ko, So, I was expecting for Jollibee to just move inside this range, yung S1 to R1. That's why I plotted the box here, And very surprising na nagkaroon siya ng ganitong rally. So, syempre, since Jollibee is part of the index, it's one of the big blue chips out there, mukhang nagkaroon ng catalyst para tumaas siya, dahil maganda yung takbo ng index natin. So, it was inside the consolidation for about 4 trading days up until November 21. So, this past Friday. Kaso lang, gaya ng lagi kong sinasabi, whenever a stock is on a downtrend tapos magkakarally siya, mahirap yan aside from the structure resistances that are available, yung moving averages natin nakaabang, So, ito nga, for the past 2 trading days, yung MA20 yung nag-act as the resistance ngayon for JFC since it was able to overcome itong R1. So, I'm not gonna change any levels for JFC, but of course, if this move keeps going higher or kung magkaroon man siya ng consolidation near 200 price area, I'm going to treat yung R1 as a possible support, at nakapag-convert na siya into a role reversal. So, I'm just going to put here a call out indicating na posible na S1 support siya, pag na-sustain niya yung move. And not that much difference pa rin ang gusto nating mangyari. Mag-breakout yung JFC sa resistance line na to and ultimately, reach around the 215 level or above R3. Kasi pag nangyari yan, negated na yung downward move niya indicated by this trend line. And above na siya sa lahat ng MAs and na-overcome niya na by then yung lahat ng resistances. So this is the move that I'd like to see for JFC for me to become optimistic. But heads up lang, there's an X date for November 27. So this trading week yan. So potentially, pwedeng mag-drop yung JFC ng around 1.13%. So, if the prices stay here, tapos mag-drop ng 1.13%, above pa rin naman siya nitong possible support. So, dapat pala yung JFC dito na lang siya maglaro for the remainder of the week kasi kung bababa siya below this R1 and magkaroon ng bentahan because of the X date, mukhang masastock siya ulit dito sa consolidation. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung gagawin ng JFC for the remainder of the week, no? So, the next stock, Ayala Land. So, for Ali, another stock na na-anticipate ko na magstay inside the consolidation. And I was able to plot yung support niya dito sa bottom part ng range, no? Because of course, nakita naman natin na merong swing low dito. So, that's what happened for the past few trading days. And nag-support nga yung S1, no? And of course, because of the good rally na ginawa ng PSEI, syempre sumunod din yung Ayala Land, no? For the past 3 trading days, pataas lang siya. So, it actually followed the move na na-anticipate natin na tumaas siya, no? Moving around this arrow. So, napag-usapan ko to nung November 7. So, that's a little bit more than 2 weeks ago, no? So, ngayon, Ali is on a crucial level because it's between the R1 and R2 resistance, which was a very important support area before. So, ito siya, no? Multiple double bottoms, no? In different periods. So, I'm expecting na malakas itong resistance na to. Tapos, humahabol pa yung MA50, no? So, I think it would take a very good rally for the PSEI para malagpasan ng Ayala Land itong levels na to at bumalik siya sa near 23 price area, no? Kasi ang kapal ng resistance na to eh. So, kung magkakaroon ng bentahan sa PSEI, no? If hindi niya makontinue yung bullishness, baka yung Ali, it's either mag-consolidate lang siya around this area or bumalik lang din ulit sa ilalim, no? Slightly above the MA20. So, definitely ang gusto nating mangyari, tumaas lang yung index, no? In the coming days or weeks, in preparation for the breakout, no, towards the 6-2 levels. So, ngayon, abangan natin kung anong gagawin ng Ayala Land, kung masosustain din ba niya yung move na ginagawa niya, no. So, I'm not gonna change any levels since significant pa rin naman itong mga areas na to. So, let's see for the remainder of the trading week kung anong mangyari. So, next up, SMPH. So, for SM Prime, the last time that I talked about this stock, medyo matagal na, no? Lagpas isang buwan na. So, nung October 2 pa. And during this period, it was actually creating this large consolidation inside its much larger consolidation, no? So, this stock kasi for the whole year, no, before siya nagkaroon ng downtrend, nasa isang malaking consolidation lang siya. So, ito yan. Unfortunately, as we all know, around end week of October, no, pababa talaga yung market. So, of course, you'd expect na bumaba din yung SMPH. So, hindi niya nga masyadong pinansin yung mga important support areas niya, no. Nag-hold lang dito sa S2 ng a few days pero nahulog lang din ulit. Hindi inintindi yung S3 along with your S4 support, no. Nabutas niya pero mabuti naman at naka-recover siya kaagad, no, after a few days after the breakdown because as you can see, gumanda nga yung takbo ng market so nabawi niya rin kahit papano. So that just goes to show you the importance, no, of identifying the short-term or immediate-term move ng index natin because it can greatly affect the blue chips or the first liners, no. So selling was so strong na hindi man lang niya pinansin yung mga support areas tapos dire-diretso yung pagbaba, no. So ngayon, I'm going to change the important levels for SMPH. So I'm going to remove the S2, S3, and S4 support areas. And then I'm going to remove this consolidation. Tapos itong S1, along with this area here, since range siya, no, in previous support, I'm going to treat this as the current R1 for the stock because nag-roll reversal na yung support area, no. So, it's a possibility na SMPH, no, just moves inside this range. So, malapit kasi sa resistance. So, it could move below the MA100 and above the MA20, no? Pero, syempre, ultimately, ang gusto nating mangyari, mabutas niya tong level na to. Tapos, dito na siya maglaro sa 23.40 and above because that would indicate na labas na siya sa lahat ng MAs, no? So, itong mga levels na to, I'm going to adjust lang din ulit. Syempre, yung R1, gagawin ko na tong R2. And itong levels niya sa may R2, syempre, gagawin ko ng R3 yan. And yung top ng range niya before, syempre gagawin ko ng R4, no? So, for the support area, since this is the bottom part of the range, I'm going to treat this as the S1, no? Which is yung level na around 21.60. So, eto siya. And possibly, this area around 20.60 as the S2 support. So, clearly, meron dyang breakdown, tas naging resistance, and then it acted as the support here. So, ayan yung levels to watch for SMPH. So, next stock, that's MREIT. So, for MREIT, the last time that I talked about this stock, ito, medyo matagal na din. So, around 3rd week of September pa, no? So, around 2 months ago. And during this period nga, I was able to plot the levels ng support and resistance. So, the S1 actually acted as the support for about 2 trading weeks, no? Since that stock market analysis. And yung R1 actually acted as the resistance also, no? After a month. So, 3rd week ng October. And naging resistance kasi yan kasi ito yung previous support niya and also previous resistance niya dati, no? So, multiple times over na nag-roll reversal. And when it made a sell-off, no? Bumalik lang din ulit siya dito sa range ng support. So, as expected, it looks like it created a consolidation inside the S1 and R1 support. So, there's an indication here na nakalagay private placement, block sale around 2.2 billion sa 13.28. So, that explains the sell-off na nangyari for MREIT, no, nung 2nd week ng September. And that also explains why hindi siya bumaba below 13.28. So, ito yung naging marka kung saan yung low ng price, no? Kasi yung inabot niya lang is around 13.34. That's why investors or traders were very aggressive kasi alam nila na mataas ang chance hindi bumaba yung stock ng 13.28. So, ngayon, I'm not gonna change any levels for MREIT. I'm just going to add na ito yung kanyang range na ginagawa, no? So, I guess only time can tell kung it's going to maintain the consolidation at kung ano definitely yung gusto niyang gawin. Kung magbe-breakout ba siya dito sa R1 levels or magbe-breakdown ba siya, no, towards the lower part of S1. So, if the market, no, keeps improving, potentially, no, baka mag-breakout yung MREIT. That could serve as a good catalyst for this stock. And heads up lang, ang kailangan abangan is this X date on November 28, so around 1.83%. So, that could mean, no, possible 2% drop for MREIT. So, kung andito siya sa prices na to and we just plot the 2% drop, we can expect na andito pa rin siya sa loob ng consolidation. So, dapat andito na lang siya sa levels na to at hindi na siya bumaba pa, no? Kasi, if i-revisit niya yung lower part ng range before the X date, tapos magkaroon ng X date na nga, then potentially it can drop towards S1, the lower part, no? So, dapat yung MREIT, hindi na siya mag-below ng MA20 and MA50. Tapos, dito lang siya maglaro. So, next stock, Pure Gold. So, for Pure Gold, last time that I talked about this stock, about a month ago, so October 17. And during this period, I was able to plot the pattern na ginagawa niya, which is a downward channel move. So, ito siya, no? But also, I've plotted the supports for this stock, so S1 and S2, along with your S3. So, it looks like S2 served as the major support during this period. And nagkaroon lang siya ng onting down move, no, towards S3. Pero, syempre, naging aggressive yung mga buyers dyan because it's near the support area here. Kaya, inabot lang ng 35.10. And if you've been watching my previous stock chart analysis videos, you already know na whenever a downward pattern is created, whether that's a downward channel move or a falling wedge, ang gusto natin mangyari, makalabas siya dun sa upper part na resistance line in order to negate yung downward channel move. So, yung ginawa ng Pure Gold, nag-breakout siya dito sa downward channel. Tapos, bumalik ulit sa ilalim, buti na lang nakapag-support yung S2, no? Kasi kung hindi, potentially, abutin niya ulit yung near S3 levels. And of course, because of the moves na ginawa ng market, eto, nag-rally nga siya. Tapos tuluyan na siyang nakalabas, no, dito sa downward channel niya. But the thing is, as expected, since meron tayong previous support around this level sa 40.50, it's acting as the resistance for Pure Gold, no? So, for me, I'm going to adjust the levels here already. So, yung S2, mas gagawin kong specific. Ilalagay ko siya dito around 36. And for S1, I'm still going to maintain that. So, ito pa rin siya. And yung R1, it looks like I'm going to make it a range at ilalagay ko sa level na to. But R2 and R3 still the same. And S3, still the same, no? So it looks like the pattern that is being created by Pure Gold is a consolidation. So between R1 and S3. So much like MREIT, no, it would definitely be good kung makalabas na yung Pure Gold sa box na ginagawa niya. Kasi kung hindi, it could just either stay inside this consolidation, no, or move lower towards the support areas. So syempre, kailangan pa rin natin i-base sa magiging galaw ng index, no, kung magiging maganda ba yung catalyst for Pure Gold. So let's see in the coming days or weeks kung finally kaya niya nang lagpasan itong R1 resistance. So next stock, GT Cap. So for GT Cap, last time that I talked about this stock, first week November, and like what I said earlier, no, pag may downward channel move or may falling wedge na ginagawa, the best move that it can make in the short term is to move outside of that pattern in order to negate yung move. So ito kasi sa GT Cap, I was able to plot the S1 support, no, because of this November 5 candle, and mukhang ayun nga yung nakapigil sa GT Cap kasi nahulog siya nung November 12 and nag-hold, no, nung 12, 13, and 14 sa level na to. So kung hindi nangyari yung breakout na yan, baka umabot siya dito, no, towards the S2. So it's a good thing na nag-breakout siya, and it looks like it followed this arrow that I anticipated. So after nung breakout, kasabay din ng pagganda ng market, tinapik niya, no, yung R2 resistance. So ito siya. So of course, now I'm going to remove this pattern kasi mukhang dito na siya maglalaro sa pattern na rectangle or box because it looks like ito na yung ginagawa niya na move, no? So, not that much catalyst for GT Cap, I guess, para maging sobrang ganda nung galaw niya, no? Kasi tumaas yung market pero ito pa lang yung nagawa niyang move. But of course, somehow optimistic na yun, no? Kaysa nag-breakdown pa siya sa S1. So I guess it would take a lot of good moves ulit sa PSEI kung kaya ng GT Cap na mag-move above ng R2. And definitely it needs a specific catalyst or fundamental news, no, na positive for GT Cap para matulak siya pataas ng level na to. So I'm going to treat this level, yung upper part ng range, as the R3 resistance. Tapos yan lang yung idadagdag ko, no? Kasi it looks like ito talaga yung gagawin niyang move in the short term to medium term. So tingnan natin in the coming days or weeks kung anong gagawin ng GT Cap, no? Kung kakayanin ba niya mag-breakout dito sa R3 or magsistay lang talaga siya inside the box. So next stock, MRC. So for MRC, the last time that I talked about this stock, October 17. So more than a month already, a little more than a month. So during this period nga, we were anticipating na magiging resistance yung R1. So nakapag-breakout siya, no? Pero ayun nga, it looks like the resistance is really strong dito sa R1 and nag-resist siya dyan. So definitely it's respecting the resistance. Tapos nag-act as support itong S1 level, no, during October 20 and 21. Pero hindi enough para i-support yung MRC tapos dumire-diretso siya pababa. So mukhang ang ginawa niya is bumalik lang siya ulit, no, inside this consolidation na ginagawa niya before. So para sa akin, yung MRC is currently creating this small consolidation here. So inside this area. So it looks like ang gagawin niyang move for the short term is a consolidation. Pero like I said, no, if you're a member of the momentum tier, I mentioned there na I don't like MRC pag nag-close pa siya below the MA100 because it's actually the major support for this stock, no? So, pag nabutas kasi yung MA100, baka potential na magkaroon ng sell-off, no? So, definitely not good for MRC if mag-close pa siya below 90 or 89, no? Kasi may potential siya na mag-breakdown further pa. So, the most optimistic na siguro na pwedeng gawin ng MRC in the short term is for it to make a breakout, no, dito sa 1.04. But I don't see a catalyst sa ngayon para magawa niya yan, no? So, wala pa kasing nilalabas na disclosure na talagang makakapag-incentivize sa mga investors or mga traders na pasukin tong stock na to. So, it looks like for the short term, mas mataas yung chance na consolidation siya or mag-move lower, no? Unless may pumasok na magandang catalyst para mag-breakout. Pero sa ngayon kasi wala pa. So, that's unlikely to happen. So, let's see sa MRC, no, kung anong gagawin niya in the coming days or weeks, kung makakapag-breakout ba siya or tuluyan na talaga siyang manghihina. So, the next stock, that's Macro Asia. So for Macro Asia, the last time that I talked about this stock sa stock chart analysis, no, mukhang matagal na ata. So yung mga drawings ko dito, ito pa yung consolidation na ginagawa niya. So I think the last time that I reviewed the stock, probably August of first week pa, no? So that's nearly 4 months siguro. And yung nakikita kong ginagawa niyang pattern during this period was still an ascending triangle, no? Pero since wala na yan, I'm going to remove the patterns here. So, yung S1, tatanggalin ko na rin to. And this S2, ililabel ko lang muna to as S along with your S3. Kasi baka magkaroon pa ng mga support levels later so that I can check, no, if it's the proper label for the support. So, for the resistances, tatanggalin ko na rin dito yung R1. And itong R2, gagawin ko na tong R lang, no? Kasi may mga ibang resistances na kailangan i-adjust. So, this line here has an indication na bought price. So, kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, the broker that I'm using kasi is InvestaTrade. And since I'm using their chart, automatic lumalabas, no, yung average price ko. So, meron kasi akong position dito sa Macro Asia. And ito nga, no, below 450 yung price kung saan ko siya nakuha. So, for now, yung MAC, I see that it's moving towards a consolidation. So, itong consolidation na to. So, of course, that means na the lower part of this range, which is around 4.26, yung gagawin kong S1. And yung upper part ng range at 4.87 is, of course, your R1. No? So, since meron tayong resistance sa 5 because it's the previous support and psych resistance, you can actually treat this as R2 or you can just treat R1 and R2 as a range resistance, no, from 4.87 to 5. So, that means kung S1 to, I can also use this level as the support, yung around 4.13. So, ito yung gagawin kong S2 sa ngayon. And then, this level here is going to be S3. So, ibig sabihin S4, S5 to, no? Pero tatanggalin ko na yan, tapos i-replot ko na lang in the event na bumaba yung MAC below S2 levels, no? Pero, support yan supposedly. So, for Macro Asia, much like the other stocks that I've reviewed so far, mukhang it's moving towards a consolidation, no? So, I guess only time can tell kung anong pwedeng gawin ng MAC, kung magbe-breakout ba siya dito sa R1, R2 resistance niya, or magbe-breakdown siya sa S1 and S2, no, to revisit yung S3 levels. Or kung walang masyadong fundamental catalyst or magandang move sa MAC, no, baka magstay lang siya inside this consolidation, no, until a positive or negative catalyst affects it to transition towards an uptrend or a downtrend. So, next up, RLC. So, for RLC, the last time that I talked about this stock, last month din, so around October 17 pa. And the anticipation was it could either move inside the consolidation, no, with an optimistic scenario na mag-breakout siya sa R1. So, ayun nga yung ginawa niya, no, for the whole month of October and for the first 3 weeks, no, ng November. Nasa loob lang siya ng range na to. And finally, it was able to make a breakout earlier sa level na to. So, nagkaroon lang ng slight delay, no, sa breakout niya kasi alam naman natin the market is not doing good and RLC being one of the blue chips, at least hindi siya affected na nagkaroon ng buhusan, no. It just made this consolidation. So, somehow that's good. So, I'm not gonna change any levels right now for RLC because pwedeng overshoot lang tong nangyari. So, I'm just gonna put a label here na possible support siya. So, if the move indeed continues, then of course, we're going to convert this resistance to a support level. So, potentially, pwede na itong maging S1 tapos ito na yung R1. No? So, these are the levels to watch for RLC. Kung kaya ba niyang i-hit, no, yung R2 resistance in the coming days or weeks. So, the next stock, CNPF. For CNPF, another stock that was moving towards a downward channel move around the last week of October. So, ang ina-anticipate natin na move, no, kailangan niyang makapag-breakout sa labas ng channel niya to prevent the move towards a lower price. So, buti na lang nangyari itong move ng CNPF and mukhang napaaga pa nga, no? So, sumabay sa rally na ginawa ng market at tumaas talaga siya. So, kung di nangyari yan, it's a possibility na maabot niya yung price levels ng below 33 kasi andito yung next na support. But, of course, as expected, because we have a resistance dito sa R2, yan yung pumipigil sa price ng CNPF ngayon. So, I'm going to remove this downward channel pattern because, of course, it no longer follows that pattern. Pero mukhang ang ginagawa niya ngayon is moving inside this small consolidation, no, near R2 resistance. So ibig sabihin, I'm going to treat this as R1, and the R3 resistance, I'm going to treat that as R2. And I'm going to remove this R1 resistance, and itong bottom part ng range, syempre, yung magiging S1, no. And this level here is going to be the S2, and syempre yung S2 gagawin kong S3. Also, I'm going to treat S2 as a range kasi nagkaroon siya ng swing low dito, no. So, medyo malayo na yung next na support if mabutas itong S1 ng CNPF. So, I guess, market na lang din ang inaantay ng CNPF, no? Kapag nagpatuloy yung rally ng PSEI, it looks like CNPF is prime for a breakout and it's prime to test yung R2 resistance dito sa near 41.80 levels towards 42.50, no? So, itong resistance, this is still the R1 because mukhang overshoot yung nangyayari. So, if the move indeed goes higher, kagaya ng mangyayari sa RLC, no, we can convert this level into a possible support. And of course, saka pa lang mag-a-adjust yung mga ibang support levels dyan. So, let's see, no, this coming trading week, kung anong gagawin ng CNPF, kung makakapag-breakout pa siya dito sa range niya, or is it going to move towards the S1 support? So, if you want to watch my other videos, no, talking about non-technical stuff, so napag-usapan ko yung sentiment ko pagdating sa SCC, so you can click towards the right. And if you found value sa video na to and you've learned a lot, make sure to click that like button and subscribe sa channel na to so you can keep up to date sa mga future videos na i-upload ko pa. So, ayun lang, and thank you for watching this video.